Good afternoon, this is Terry from the Frugal Connection. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm making some red lentil crackers. And all you need for this are basically 3 ingredients. I have red lentils, I have some water, and I have about a pinch of salt here. Don't need the salt, I'm just adding a little bit to give it a little bit of flavor. So the first thing I'm going to start with is I'm going to put this in my food processor and I'm going to mill this into a very fine flour, basically. And I'm hoping that my food processor will do the job. Well, I just dropped salt all over the floor. Let me clean it up. I'll be right back. All right, I cleaned up my mess. This seems to be the day where I'm making messes in the kitchen. But all right, so to my food processor, I put in my 1.5 cups of lentils. And now what I'm gonna do is I am just going to process this until it's a fine powder or flour. All right, it definitely needs more time, so it's gonna take a little bit of time. I'll meet you back here when it's done. All right, friends, I got it done. To be quite honest with you, if I had a grain mill, that would be ideal, because then I would really get the flour texture. I did the best I could with my food processor. It went on for about 5 minutes, but I started getting this powdery substance everywhere in the kitchen. So I'm gonna just go with this and hope for the best. So now to this, I mean, it is pretty fine. It is flour-like, but there are some little chunks of red lentils still in there, but it's okay. I'm gonna add my pinch of salt and give that a good mix. And now I'm just going to dump in my 1/2 cup of water. And I'm just gonna stir this around until it comes together. It was a little wet, so it's okay, because what's going to happen is that lentil flour that I made is going to start absorbing the water, and it's already doing that. It's coming together in a ball. And because I'm going to also be rolling this out between 2 pieces of parchment paper, I'm not so worried about it. I'm going to basically knead it with the back of this spatula. And I'm going to just keep kneading it until it comes together. I love experimenting with different things, and this is kind of the fun part of this, is that now I'm making crackers, which generally crackers you buy in the store are full of unhealthy things. They're full of, you know, all sorts of chemicals or oils or salt, you know, like a lot of salt. Sometimes they have sugar in them, which makes no sense to me. This is made strictly with lentils, red lentils, and I just put a pinch of salt in there and water. And that's it. There's no oil, none of those things. So I can eat this. Now, I'm not gonna sit there and eat the entire batch of crackers because that would be a lot of calories, but I can eat some and have it as a little snack, and it will actually keep me full because it's full of protein, unlike crackers that are made with, you know, all-purpose flour and things like that. All right, so it's a little sticky, which is okay. And it's actually coming together it's much nicer than it was a few minutes ago. It's, as you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but it's more dough-like. And I'm gonna roll it out between 2 pieces of parchment paper. Now it will be wet, so what I'm gonna do is gently peel off the parchment paper on the top and just transfer the bottom sheet with the rolled out cracker to the pan, and then I will cut it there. So all in all, like doing this kneading thing with the back of the spatula, it's gonna probably take me about 5 minutes to do this, because I just want that moisture to start to absorb, or I should say, I want the lentils to soak up some of the moisture, and it's turning it into a dough, and it's getting less and less shiny and wet and more like a dough. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that there? So, amazing. It's like a science experiment in my kitchen all the time. Yep, came to the end. All right, just gonna pat this down in here. Now again, it's gonna be a little sticky because it didn't get to the flour-like consistency it probably should have been, but I don't care, I'm using it. I'm gonna go with it. You want to try to get these as thin as you can because then they'll cook more evenly. Kind of want them all the uniform size. And of course, I'm messing it up totally because looks like it has 2 horns. All right, I have a little pizza cutter here. You can use a knife if you don't have that. And I'm just going to start cutting crackers. Now you can hear it crunching a little bit because the lentils didn't get totally pulverized into flour, but that's okay. And I'm gonna make these on the side a little. All right, so there you go. I'm gonna pop it on my tray here, and I'm gonna get it in the oven. My oven has finished preheating. It's at 400 degrees. I'm gonna put these in there for about 10 minutes. I'm gonna check on them, try to get them to separate a little bit. And if they're ready to be flipped, I will flip them, and I will meet you back here when they're done, and I will let you know the times that I used in the oven with them. All right, so I'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back. I kept them in the oven for 10 minutes, and then I took my pizza cutter and just followed the lines that I initially made just to make sure they were able to separate. And then I flipped them all over, all the crackers, and then stuck them in the oven for another 5 minutes. They look amazing, really, really good. I think this is gonna be a great option. I also made some hummus while I was waiting for them in the oven, and I want to give these a test. I'm gonna take this little not so pretty looking deformed one. They're not uniform, that's for sure. And I'm gonna put a little bit of hummus on it and give it a taste. They are super crunchy, perfect. One suggestion I would do is if you have a food mill, a grain mill, go ahead and put them through the grain mill and turn it totally to flour. I didn't have one, I used what I had, which was a food processor, and I got them as fine as I could. So they're probably a little crunchy because they also were not totally pulverized to flour, but I think they're perfect. That's the one thing I always crave is a little bit of a crunchy type thing, but I don't want to use oil. And so this is a great alternative to have a snack that's high in protein, but also is low in calories, and it doesn't have all the extra oil and salt and everything. I just used a little smidgen of salt in this, like a pinch, and with the hummus, or you could use some other kind of bean dip, perfect. We'll put the link down below in the description box, which will take you to my blog on thefrugalconnection.com. The goal of my channel here is to show you how to eat plant-based whole food on a budget so that it doesn't have to cost you a fortune. This had 3 ingredients. It had red lentils, water, a pinch of salt, and that's it. Oh, I hope you'll try these recipes. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I hope you have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend, and I will catch you in the next video.